Welcome to Thinking Green. I'm Rana, and every year you probably notice after election season is over and after we start thinking about whether our voting process worked, at Thinking Green we try to focus on nonprofit organizations in our area, in our backyard, but some of them have a worldwide scope. And the reason is, for one thing, after the divisive atmosphere of campaign time, it's really nice for us all to remember that we are all in this together. And the second thing is we start getting bombarded with Black Friday sales and the whole idea that it's a good time to spend a lot of money and buy stuff. And that might not be the best time, best way to really spend the season. So with that said, tonight's guests are from Habitat for Humanity of Eastern Connecticut. Amy D'Amico is the Director of Resource Development, and she has been on this show, I think, about annually for about the last 5 years to talk about Habitat. And we're also joined tonight by Peter Rinaudo, and he is a Restore volunteer who's been there for a couple of years and has an interesting story about how he got involved with Habitat as well. So welcome both of you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I guess with each of you, and I think Peter first because you're the newbie.
Yes.
How did you get involved with Habitat for Humanity, and how did it fit in with what you've done before?
Initially, I got involved. I actually donated some furniture from my home. And when the gentleman from the Habitat store came to pick up the furniture, we started a conversation. And from that point, I visited the Restore. At the time, it was in Salem, Connecticut. And when I visited the Restore, it looked very interesting to me. And then I found out I had to go into an orientation program in New London, which I did satisfy. Worked in the Salem store for a matter of, a year plus. And then from that point, I was involved with the new manager to move the store to Waterford. Initially, I was doing the stocking of the shelves, I was doing pricing and so on and so forth, but I saw pretty quickly there was a need for testing of appliances that get donated and tools that get donated, furniture rebuilding and refurbishing and so on and so forth. And I took up with that, and that worked out very well because my background is engineering. Mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. So from that point, we were able to actually test, for instance, washers, dryers, refrigerators, so on and so forth. And we had more of an assurance that when these went back out to the public, we put the warranty of 30 days on it, and people can be better assured that whatever they're buying at the Restore is a good working piece of equipment.
And that is important.
Yes. Yes.
Even if you get a bargain, it still has to work.
Oh, yes, most definitely. And we also, at the Restore, even though we do get donations from people of appliances, we also get brand new appliances from big box stores. And that happens many times per month. So people can be getting some very good buys on these type of things. And you see them every day at the Restore in Waterford.
Wow. Okay, Amy, how did you get started with Habitat?
Well, I had sort of graduated from college and bummed around a little bit for a couple of years and decided I wanted to come home and start a career in the nonprofit sector. But it was 2009, and there weren't really any jobs anywhere, let alone the nonprofit sector. So I saw that Habitat for Humanity of Southeastern Connecticut was the name at the time. They were hiring or looking for AmeriCorps members. And AmeriCorps is run by the Corporation for National Service, and they're year-long placements in the United States, mostly with nonprofits, and they're opportunities for people of any age to serve for a year to help organizations grow and develop. You get a very modest stipend, and it's a great experience. And that's how I did that for a year here, and then luckily it transitioned into a full-time job. So.
And you're still there. And
I
it
am.
seems like you've been there for a long time now.
Yeah, 5 years. So, yep.
I wanted to maybe start out with a little bit of background on Habitat for Humanity and like how it got started worldwide and also a little bit of local history.
Well, Habitat for Humanity was founded by Millard Fuller, who was a Georgia businessman, and his wife. They were very successful, and they found that they were having personal difficulties, marital difficulties. So they went to stay at a place called Coninia Farms, which was a sort of inclusive Christian community, very progressive for its day in South Georgia. There were black and white families living together, farming, and that's where the idea of sort of the habitat housing was born, with people working together to build houses for the families that didn't have safe, decent housing. So Millard and his wife Linda sort of took that idea and ran with it. They took it to Africa and worked down it there, and then they came back to the United States. And Habitat really came into the limelight, as most people know, when Jimmy Carter got
Right.
involved. He's our most famous volunteer, and I think we owe a bit to him.
And has been for decades now.
Yes. Yes, he still, even now, runs annual work trips around the world where you can go and build with him. So Habitat's work is accomplished locally by independent affiliates. We are responsible for our housing design, all of our fundraising, and the management of our mortgages. Habitat for Humanity International is an umbrella organization, and they provide support with advice. They do help us apply for some larger national grants, but mostly we're independently run. And so Habitat for Humanity of Eastern Connecticut serves New London County and then the 10 easternmost towns in Windham County. And we have completed 65 houses to date.
Wow. Now, at what point did you merge with the northeastern part of Habitat?
We merged with them in July of 2013 after about a year-long process of working with their key volunteers and board, and our board working together to plan that.
So I think we might want to talk about the houses now. Over the last year, where have you built houses? And we do have some pictures that we can show.
Sure.
I think, okay, and there's just Habitat for.
Okay. This house is in Montville. It was on a lot which was donated to us, and it had an existing home on it that was just kind of dilapidated and falling down. It was very, very old, a couple hundred years old, and unfortunately it wasn't in salvageable condition. So it was demolished, and we completed this home in August of this year. It's not quite complete in this picture, but several of our homes, partially because of the funding they received, they're built to be accessible, which means that people who have mobility issues should be able to visit the home. So on the left side of the home in this picture, there's actually a ramp that you can't see. So part of the rationale for this is that people will be able to age in their homes better and not have to.
And that is an important issue now.
Yeah.
Because the goal is, I'm guessing, to provide people with homes that will be with them for a long time.
Yeah, they're forever home if they want it to be, so.
Let's see. Oh, no,
This is actually the home dedication for that house. We have a dedication ceremony when we finish every house where the family is given the keys to their home, which is happening in this picture. That's actually one of our longtime Restore volunteers. He drives the truck and does pickups for us. So, and that is the Pratt's family. They're a family of 6, actually 7 now. She was expecting when they got the key to their house. So it was perfect timing for them to be getting into a bigger place. They were in I believe, a 2-bedroom apartment when they applied to us, or 3.
Wow.
Yeah, no, 2. Yeah.
well, even 2-bedroom apartments are on the fair market rate. They're not inexpensive to live in at all.
No, they're not.
So people with larger families do have a really rough time. So now that we've seen one family, people who are interested in becoming families who get Habitat homes, what kind of process do they have to go through?
Every family applies to own a Habitat home, and they're selected on 3 basic criteria. Their need, so they have to be living in substandard housing, and we consider substandard anything from structural issues to overcrowding to paying more than 30% of your household income on rent, because 30% or less is considered affordable. Their ability to pay, so we work with families who earn 30 to 50% of the area median income. Some people think that Habitat's a giveaway program. It's not. We work with that income bracket because the families do pay a mortgage. It's a no-profit mortgage, and it's recycled to finance the building of more Habitat homes. But it is a requirement that they have the income to pay the mortgage. And then the third criteria is their willingness to partner. Every family who purchases a Habitat home does 400 hours of what we call sweat equity, which is working on their own home, other Habitat homes, attending classes that prepare them to be a homeowner. And up to 200 of those hours can be donated by friends and family. So the goal is to create a community of people invested in their success. So the application process is when we're getting ready to start on a new home, we have what we call applicant information meetings. And that's the only way to go to receive an application, is to go to one of those meetings, just because it's complicated to apply for a Habitat house. And in essence, you're in some ways applying for a loan, a conventional home, not a conventional home loan, but it's the same amount of paperwork, which if anybody's bought a home is a lot of paperwork. So we like people to be informed going into the process. So once families apply, we have a family selection committee who works to review the applications to make sure they're within our income guidelines, and that they would be a good fit. Once we narrow it down to not the top candidates, but the ones who are the best fit for the program at the time, we do home visits to understand what their housing situations really are. And then based on the number of houses we're building, we'll select. Families who aren't selected, nobody who purchases the Habitat home has perfect credit. But if their credit's too bad for us to work with them at this time, we'll refer them to local agencies that can provide credit counseling and help get that credit score up. Or if their income's too high, we'll refer them to a program like HOPE in New London that works with a slightly higher income bracket. We do encourage families to reapply if they're not selected, and we're working with a family now that I think applied twice before they were selected for a home. So.
And I think you made an important point talking about, HOPE and some other programs, that each program that exists fills a somewhat different niche, attracts a little bit different group of people that need families, and provides a little bit different service and product.
Yep.
And if I can interject.
Sure.
Another part of volunteering at the Restore, these people actually put in hours towards
I forgot to say.
Habitat for Humanity. And to see these people come in with their families and friends to share these hours that they're volunteering at the store is just a joy to see. They're so excited naturally that they're getting a safe, comfortable home, and to have their families come in and their friends come in to share this. It's really exciting to be part of that program.
Well, there is definitely a community building piece of it. And one thing we haven't mentioned yet, but we'll certainly we can get to now, when you're building houses from scratch, I am sure there are sponsors who are helping pay for materials, skilled carpenters who are working on the parts of the labor that really need to be done by someone who's licensed. So what goes into the building of these houses beyond the families?
Well, all of our houses are built or rehabilitated by mostly volunteers. Like you said, we really only use tradesmen for the electrical, plumbing, and heating. Sometimes if we're getting started on a home first thing in the winter, we might work with a local contractor to help frame it out really quick so that we get people out of the elements. But it is a community effort of volunteers from the community, from the local colleges, all across sections.
I know last time you were on, or the time before, the Coast Guard had recently finished a build in New London.
Yep.
So you obviously have supporters from all over the place.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Now, we have a couple more pictures of homes. I'm not quite sure where
Sure. This one is on Flanders Road in East Lyme, and this was a vacant lot that was donated to us by one of our longtime board members and volunteers, Ben Orvidal, who is a great partner for Habitat. And but the lot was very steep, and when you first, I should have given you a picture of what it looked like before the home was there, because everybody who saw it was like, how are you going to put a house there? But there's a nice retaining wall, and she's very happy there. That homeowner has 2 sons, and they were in just a terrible situation. They had gang activity in their building, just lots of rubbish in the hallways, and she's in a much better place now. It was good to see them move into their home.
Let's see, I have a picture of another home.
Yes, this was a home we dedicated in October in Putnam, actually. It was a rehab. It was a moderate rehab. The home was in pretty good shape, but yeah, it was great. And I think the next picture that you have is of the family getting their key to that house too.
And so we can see now also like 3 different communities. It seems as though when Habitat was starting out in Southeast Connecticut, it was focusing mostly on New London, and it seems as though it's spread through all the surrounding communities.
Well, we kind of focus where we can find the land.
Right.
So we've been really fortunate in the past year. Bank of America has a program with Habitat for Humanity International. So throughout the country, they're donating vacant foreclosed homes. I guess to get them off their books and to get them rehabbed and people into them. So we've received 3 properties, I believe, through them. 2 in Norwich and 1 in New London. And then we've received other properties throughout the areas from either local banks or individuals. So we're going to be doing a lot of home rehabilitations in the next few years, which are really exciting.
Yeah, it seems as though a lot of the recent ones have been new builds, and this must be a little bit different experience to work on.
Yes, they're often cans of worms, I think.
I live in an old house, and we've found some surprises when rehabbing. Things that looked okay until you started taking off like the layer of carpet and found funny stuff underneath. And here I just wanted, here's some
Yes, in January.
Yeah, no.
Oh, in January we're actually going to be holding homeowner information sessions. So if anybody's interested in applying for a Habitat house or learning what it entails to apply for a Habitat house, we have a session on the 16th in New London and the 17th in Norwich. And all this information, if it's not on our website now, it will be in December. Also, people can call our office and get put on a mailing list, and we're happy to mail all this information out as well.
And this is something that if you're interested, you just have to attend one of
Yes.
these.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And are these mentions for homes located in Norwich? So
Yes.
this is focusing on the 2 homes you were talking about that you had in Norwich?
Yes. Mm-hmm. We have one home, yes, I believe it's 2 houses in Norwich, both existing houses that are going to be rehabbed. So.
Now, I was a little bit interested too. You had mentioned about a year and a half ago, the southeastern and northeastern habitats in Connecticut merged. What's been the effect of that? Have you been able to do more? What's the difference been?
Well, part of the reason that the 2 Southeast and Northeast merged was Northeast was run by a group of very hardworking volunteers who were just, I think, at the point of burnout. So that was kind of how the discussion got started. But we merged with the goal of going from building 1 house every other year in the Northeast to building 1 house every year in the Northeast, or completing 1 house every year in the Northeast. And we're on track to do that. Like you saw, we completed the house in Putnam, and we're working right now in Killingly on a big home rehabilitation. So we have been successful so far in doing a home a year, and it looks like we're on track to do that. And we also relocated their restore. It was in a great location-wise in Putnam in the Main Street area, but it was in the downstairs of essentially what was a house. So it's not, the ideal place to be moving couches and refrigerators in and out of. So we were able to work with the owner of the Agway building in Plainfield. So we've moved there. It's on Norwich Road in Plainfield in the former Agway, and it's a much better space for our type of business. And they've been doing well so far. They had their grand opening in April, and
as far as the restores are concerned, we're complementing each other. There are times, I can think of one situation up in Plainfield, that there was a big box store that brought in 75 or so doors, pre-framed, brand new doors. And we were able to pass back and forth this kind of merchandise. We tend to get a lot of kitchen cabinetry in our area. We were able to exchange that way. The people that actually are working in the Plainfield store, I and other people in the Waterford store, we were able to share the training and the experiences that we had in our store, which another compliment for both of the stores. And we are constantly making calls back and forth and sending people to the alternate stores when we don't happen to carry whatever it is. They happen to have a tremendous amount of storage up there, so when we get in a good amount of merchandise, we can have our truck go to their warehouse, store it for a period of time, and then we can bring down whatever we need to bring down. So that complement has been working out very well.
Now, you started out when the Southeastern Restore was in Salem, and you were involved in the move. How has that worked out?
That has been such a tremendous improvement in the operation. Like you were saying about the other store up in Putnam, we had a situation in Salem that the receiving of donated merchandise and actually the shipping, in a manner of speaking, out to people's cars and trucks and so on and so forth, all had to go through the single front door. That was cumbersome, especially when we had customers coming in and were bringing out large couches and refrigerators and so on and so forth. The testing that I was doing was almost like taking refrigerators and so on and so forth on a 4x4 back porch and try to do the testing there. And now we have an excellent testing area with water, electricity, 120 volts, 240 volts, everything we need to do the testing properly. So that's a big improvement. The lighting in the store is so enhanced. We actually have in the store big boxed, large shelving and framing, which is proper for what we need. The ceiling height, I mean, we get a lot of donations from big box stores, and we get a lot of finished lumber. And the finished lumber at times is 10 feet, 12 feet, and so on and so forth. We had no place to put it in Salem. And now we can actually stand it up properly so the merchandise is stored properly. And we've actually got sections, which we did not have in Salem. We have sections of appliances and furniture and upholstered furniture and kitchen furniture and plumbing supplies and so on and so forth. When we were in Salem, we did what we did. It was good. We did make money, but it was sometimes, most of the times, swimming upstream. And now we have an appropriate place that the customers can actually see and view and purchase much more easily at this point in time. So that was a great enhancement.
Now, do you find that people still don't know where you are, or that have they gotten the idea by now?
I would guess that it took about 4 to 5 months. 4 to 5. Even though we were notifying the people, it took about 4 to 5 months. But in the last 4 months, the word of mouth has really gone out, both on the donating side and the purchasing side. It has gone extremely well.
Now, we have a couple of restored photos, not many, so you really will have to go and visit one of the restores in order to really know what the experience is. But this looks like the front door of the Plainfield store.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is the Waterford store.
and it's actually extremely close to where we're sitting right now. It's right at the corner of Boston Post Road and Willits.
That is correct. That is correct.
A little back from the intersection, but it's very nearby.
Yes, correct. It is very nearby. We have a very large parking lot. We have no problem whatsoever with people coming in with trucks and SUVs and so on and so forth to be picking up their merchandise and dropping off their merchandise. Another great thing is we have three very large overhead doors for bringing in merchandise, and that has been a big help also.
Well, that was traditionally a real industrial space. I think it was carpet mill outlet way back when. So
Yes.
it would have to have the equipment and the scale to be
Yes.
able to deal with the big items. And I have one inside photo here. I don't know which store that is.
This is Waterford.
Yes.
Yep. So that's also that's taking a picture of all of our building materials. We have a lot of windows and doors and cabinets and plumbing materials.
Now, when you get windows and doors and cabinets, are they mostly used where people have renovated, or are they things that contractors had extra, or big box stores had extra after doing a job?
It's actually all of the above. We get cabinets where people do remodeling. where industrial facilities do remodeling. As far as new is concerned, we actually get from the big box stores returns that were never used. They're still in the package. We also get from the big box stores that they might have an entire wall of display.
Yeah, we don't want to lose you.
They might have an entire wall of displays up, and it's just the sake of remodeling. And this is all new, unused cabinetry, plumbing, sinks, vanities, so on and so forth. And it's very common for us to get large trailer trucks from these big box stores, sometimes every week. And we're able to offer that to the customers that come into to the Restore.
Why don't we take a break and let him get his microphone?
Okay, we'll do that. And you know what? I will put up a slide. To be a volunteer for Habitat at the Restore or in any other capacity, there's a training program. So maybe you can talk about upcoming sessions of that.
Sure. We hold sessions every month for people who would like to become volunteers. You're required to go before you can begin in the store or on site or in our office. We hold them the second Saturday of every month in New London at our office on Broad Street, and we hold them the third Saturday of every month at the Restore in Plainfield. So for more information about those, you can go to our website, which is just habitatect.org.
And there is a lot of information on that website. I was going, the way you were talking about everything coming in weekly, practically, if you're looking for things, you really have to visit pretty frequently. It always changes, I'm guessing.
It is always changing. It is changing every day, and literally it is changing by the hour, because not only do we go out 2 or 3 times with our box truck to pick up merchandise that people are donating, there are people that every single day they're coming to the Restore and donating to us. So the merchandise is always changing. So coming often is very good. We get a large amount of people that own apartments and houses in the local area, and they will come in several times in a week and look over the merchandise that we have. Another thing that I bring to the Restore is there was a period of time that I had my own home remodeling business. So when people come in and they're looking for a right-hand door, a left-hand door, or an insulated door, or a replacement window, I'm able to give them a certain amount of advice so they can buy possibly the right thing the first time.
Now, how many hours a week do you volunteer? It sounds
Well,
like a lot.
The normal periods of time, I think it's from 9 to 2 and 2 to 6. And I'll usually sign up from 9 to 2, but I'll end up working from 8 to whatever time it is. So it's usually 2 days a week, and lately it's been 3 days that I've been volunteering.
Do you find that things get busier at this time of year, or is it just comes in waves?
It does come in waves, but I have seen in the past couple of years, before the holidays, people are actually coming in and saying, we've had these cabinets on the back porch for 2 years, and we're having family over, so it's time to donate the cabinets, or donate the couch, or donate the chair, and so on and so forth. And to say nothing of the people, I think the biggest dollars we do at the store is in furniture. And of course, this time of year, people that are looking for dining room tables and couches and chairs and desks and so on and so forth, large numbers of people we see in there.
Now, I think last time you were on, you mentioned that you also advertise some items on Craigslist, correct?
We do. Mm-hmm.
So how does a person find out? Is it a rotation of things, or Are certain items just chosen to be publicized that way? How does it work?
We have some volunteers that come in every single week, and they take pictures of different items. And then they'll go to certain people in the store for different descriptions of these particular items. And then they will put them on Craigslist. That's what I know about the program at this point.
And I think we usually try the more unique or high-value items we try
Sure.
and put on there. And I think they're pretty good about taking things off once they're sold, so you don't go looking for that perfect
Right.
hutch that's not there anymore.
I was just thinking someone who wants some things but can't, come twice a month to see the rotating stock might get an idea of what's being featured currently by looking at Craigslist. Now, you've been a volunteer for 2 or 3 years now.
Yes.
You're still doing it, so I'm guessing that you're enjoying it. But what would you say to people out there who are thinking about volunteering for something, about what the experience has been like?
I find that it's good to know that you're helping the community, but it actually goes beyond the community, because the amount of dollars that we make at the Restore, for instance, I believe it's worldwide, isn't it? That we support Habitat for Humanity?
Yep.
We're supporting worldwide. So I think that's quite a contribution. Another thing that I feel good about is we have an association with the group, the labor group, I'm trying to think about.
AIC? Easter Seals?
Easter Seals. We have an agreement with Easter Seals. And there is a work training program. And when people come in from the Easter Seals program, and it doesn't cost Habitat for Humanity anything, there is a particular program, and I am able to share information with them about electrical, mechanical, building materials, and so on and so forth. So sharing that knowledge and sharing that information is great. And the other jewel that I see is the college people, the young people that are coming to Habitat for Humanity. Just 2 weeks ago, we had 27 young people come in from Three Rivers and Connecticut College. And they were just fantastic. There were some people that just like to do dusting and here and that and so on and so forth, and there are other people that like to get more involved in the technical part of it and learning a little bit more about construction. But it was just a wonderful couple of days to share that with them. And then we also have high school students that come in to do their community service. And the rewarding thing is either the college students or the high school students, when they come in and do their community service, and they'll be talking with us and they'll say, oh, we only got 4 hours left and you only got 5 hours left. When they complete the community service, and then you see them again the next Saturday, and they're coming in on their own because they liked and they appreciated being part of the group, that's terrific.
So I'm guessing that for the volunteers in general, not just the students, it's an enjoyable experience.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
Now, how does that affect the shopping experience when people come in and pretty much everyone they see is a volunteer, or almost everyone they see is a volunteer?
I think it is very positive. Tony, the general manager of the store, has got a great system going on that it truly is a pleasure working there. And I think customers are welcomed when they come in there. And to work amongst people with a lot of smiles on their faces, that's the right place to be.
Now, and one other thing we haven't really talked about was that if these items didn't have this path to finding new homes, both through, the higher quality, newer things through the build and the other things through the restore, a lot of them would be landing in landfills.
Exactly.
So, we've seen in Southeast Connecticut a lot of landfills being closed, and the waste is frankly a problem. So
Yes.
if we can prevent waste and figure out ways to recycle things and reuse them, that's a huge service for the community and for the future.
I would say 1/3 of the people that come into the store make the comment on exactly what you said. They look around the store, they look at how large it is, and they say, my goodness, all of this could be going into a landfill. And what a sin that would be, where all of this good merchandise is being used. A lot of the furniture, for instance, there are such great quality pieces of furniture that come in the store. Furniture that probably could not even be made today with the cost of labor and such. Really good quality pieces. And like you say, it's not going into landfill.
Yeah, it's going to where people can enjoy it. Now, people who are watching the show who are inspired and interested in supporting Habitat for Humanity, we talked about ways to volunteer. You touched on people donating property, but what are the various ways that people can either donate or support Habitat in some other way?
Sure. Well, I know we've mentioned several times donating to the restore, but just to be perfectly clear, we do pickups too. We have a box truck. Sometimes it takes us about a week and a half to schedule the pickup because we just are blessed with a great volume of calls right now, which I'm not complaining about. But we can do pickups. We have volunteers who will come and move it for the donor. So that's one way. As a nonprofit, we never turn down financial support, especially this time of year. If maybe you think that housing or construction is dear to somebody's heart that and you want to make a gift in their name to Habitat, we can even provide cards that say a gift was made in their name. You said we're always looking for land. We actually, speaking of keeping things out of landfills or recycling, trash, we have a Cars for Homes program where if somebody has a car that maybe they just want to donate or they know they're not going to get much for a trade-in, you can donate your car, and at auction, whatever it raises will be donated back to your local Habitat affiliate, which is a great program too.
So you're always looking for land, for monetary donations, for cars, for stuff for the restore, which is really all so important. And I guess we have probably about 5 more minutes, and I wanted to talk a little bit just in general about housing, because I think when Habitat for Humanity worldwide started, there was definitely a sense that if people don't have secure housing, then it's really hard for them to have dignity in their life and feel safe. And it seems as though recently you read the news and homeless people are not always well treated or well thought of. So how would you say the mission of Habitat just eases the issue of finding housing for people here and maybe worldwide as well?
Well, I'll start locally. As you know, southeastern Connecticut in general is not a particularly affordable place to live, especially if you have a larger family or if you're a single parent. So Habitat really creates a permanent affordable housing solution where they may have been moving from rental to rental. Now they have an affordable house that they're paying a mortgage on to own. So that's pretty much how we work here. It's interesting. I think Habitat has realized internationally that it's been necessary to broaden the scope of their work. So in Guatemala, for instance, maybe not everybody can afford a Habitat home at this moment, but they were seeing how they can make homes healthier. So they have a stove project where they're equipping families with indoor stoves that are more smoke-free, because so many families are cooking over open flames inside the homes. In other countries, they have water initiatives to get fresh, safe water to people. And in several countries, like I know Egypt and Haiti, they do homes where if a family is very poor, they do like a single room structure that they can then add on to in the future. The word escapes me right now for the term they use for it. But so I think Habitat does a good job of being locally run, both domestically and internationally, and addressing the needs of the community they're in from within the community, which I think is really good.
And where it seems as though wherever Habitat goes, the houses are compatible with what's in the neighborhood around where it's being built, whether it's city or rural, or whether it's the United States, Connecticut, where the cost of living is quite high, or someplace like Haiti or Guatemala. Now, can you tell people again where the two restores are, and then maybe how they can get involved if they want to buy a house? But first, where the restores are.
Well, the Waterford Restore is at 82 Boston Post Road. If people are familiar with the local roads, right off of Route 1, bear right on Willits Avenue. There's the Town Fair Tire, and if you drive beside the Town Fair Tire a little bit further back, there's a complex of stores back there, and we have 3 sections of those stores. And the Plainfield store is?
It's at 808 Norwich Road in Plainfield. It's not far off of 395, but I'm afraid I can't think of which exit it is.
I'm guessing it would not be that hard to find.
No,
from
it's
there.
very easy.
No.
And you mentioned all the things you can take at the store. I wondered if there's anything you don't accept at the restore.
We do not accept mattresses. At this point in time, I believe that just about covers it at this point in time, that we don't accept mattresses. We do have a person that is assigned to a list when people call or they come in and they want to donate to us and they want us to pick up with our truck. We have a person who is the assistant manager of the store. Give them a call, and he will give them a very good review on the items they would like to donate. And that's a first cursory review that they go through all of these items. And then from that point on, they get on a schedule. And like you were saying, we are now blessed with the fact that we might be a week and a half to 2 weeks out. And that's a good problem for us.
Yeah, it is. To be busy?
Yes, most definitely. And we also have people that go out on the truck that are very caring. They're very interested too, because they're going and they're meeting people, and they have some great exchanges when they get back to the receiving area of the store. So it works together very well.
And what are the store hours? It just occurred to me we didn't tell people when you're open.
In Waterford, it's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Do you know what the Plainfield?
It's the same in Plainfield.
Okay, so Wednesday through Saturday.
Yep.
Yes.
10 to 6.
Yes.
And maybe you can just recap quickly when the sessions are for people who want to purchase homes?
Sure. They're January 16th and 17th. For more information, people can go to our website, habitatect.org, and it'll be posted there, or you'll find our phone number to call us, and we can help.
Good. Well, thank you very much. Thanks, Amy. I hope you come back next year. Thanks, Peter, for, I hope the first time was fun.
Definitely.
And just to let everyone out there know, next week we have Deneen Roth and Suzanne Marieski talking about the New London Public Library programs. And we're going to continue through this month of different nonprofits, partly to give us an idea of how blessed we all are and what we can do this season that really can make a difference to others and also be rewarding for us as well. So thanks to both of you, and I'll see you all at the Restore. And good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Why, baby, why make me cry, baby, cry, baby, cry, baby, cry. I can't live without you till the day that I die. So tell me why, baby, why, baby, why, baby, why? Now I got a crow I wanna pick with you, but like last time when the feathers flew, you're right on top.